Hi, you're watching Professor Plays, and today I'm continuing my factorio tutorial series. I don't think I ever showed the smelting layout that I came up with in this playthrough that I'm doing, and I'm kind of using this playthrough as not really a playthrough, but just as a way to talk about different things in the game. Here's my stone smelting layout. This is a half smelting line. We talked about that when we talked about smelting. It's hard to get enough stone in there to smelt more than that. And these stone bricks, the reason I'm starting here is these stone bricks are going down to make a military science. Today I want to look at the build I use for military science. And also here's the smelting layout that I came up with on this map. If you're playing along on the same map, I just threw copper over there because it seemed like it fit with the copper mine being there and the iron mine being there, but it really doesn't matter. So I'm doing copper smelting over there and iron smelting there and steel smelting down here. Okay, so military science requires, well, one of the ingredients is stone bricks, what I just talked about. So here's my build that I use for military science. I call this military science plus, and I was just tweaking it a few minutes ago. So let's just make sure I didn't break anything. So let's start at the top here. We'll go through what it does. So, well, let's start with military science first of all. So military science, the ingredients are, it requires one piercing round, one grenade, and one wall, or two walls, excuse me. I call this military science plus because I build extras. I build extra piercing rounds, extra grenades, and extra walls, and then I box up the extras. Also, if you have the research completed, I build defender capsules down here and put those in a box as well. But that's, you have to have the research for that. But anyway, oh, and then grenades are boxed up here. Okay, so walls, that's why I needed stone brick. To make walls, it's just stone brick in an assembly machine. So they're made there. The standard round firearm magazine is 4 iron plate. So iron plate are taken from the belt and placed here. Now, are you starving for iron plate? Yeah, so if we open up the machine, well, you can either watch the machine, see the movements, the gears there, sort of pause momentarily. The other thing you can do is open it up and you look at the input ingredients, and if that turns red, it means it's starving for that ingredient. So we can boost that by putting an extra inserter and keep this thing running all the time. The walls have stopped because they're backed up. The conveyor is backed up with walls. Those firearm magazines are fed down to this conveyor, picked up by these long-handed inserters, put it into these machines, and these machines are making piercing rounds. Piercing rounds need 5 copper plate, 1 steel, and 1 firearm magazine. Again, I'm just with the machine open, I'm looking to see if any of these inputs turn red, to see if we're missing anything. And it looks like we're keeping up with everything we need. So copper and steel are coming down this belt, and they're being picked up along with the firearm magazine into these machines, and the piercing rounds are placed on this belt. The firearm magazine, or excuse me, piercing rounds are side loaded onto the belt where the wall segments are. That's this belt here. Those are the ingredients, or some of the ingredients needed for the military science. Piercing rounds and wall. Also need grenades. And then the extras of the firearm magazine and wall go down to the bottom where this splitter has a filter. It doesn't matter, you can filter wall or you can filter piercing rounds. So I'm filtering piercing rounds, and these piercing rounds are going over here to our left, and walls are going to our right, where these are getting boxed up. And then the piercing rounds are getting boxed up, and then, well, they're going into a box, and they're also being taken out of the box and going down here to make defender capsules if you have the research. So if you don't have this researched yet, you'll just accumulate piercing rounds. If you do have this researched, then you'll make defender capsules, and then the extra piercing rounds will remain in the box. And the defender capsules require 3 electronic circuits in addition to gear and piercing rounds. So the electronic circuits, I'm building those here and making a copper cable, taking copper off that conveyor, and then an iron plate and making a circuit, putting it onto this belt. That's just so I can make the defender capsules. You don't need that if you don't want to put that in there. It's up to you. Anyway, so I call this military science plus. And then grenades, one of the requirements for military science is a grenade. I make extra grenades, and then the extras are boxed up down here. into this chest. So there's my military science plus build is what I call it. And then the military science is being, and I mentioned walls, military science goes out of this conveyor and goes around here and is being fed into the labs. And so now I can do research that requires military science, which I will start doing to get better weapons. So there's my military science plus build. And also I forgot to, as I said, forgot to look at my smelting layout. I think I said I was going to, and I don't think I ever did. Oh, and somebody reminded me, thank you, forgot your name, sorry, on YouTube made a comment that I really don't think I've talked about the way belts are automatically, the undergrounds are automatically added to belts. I didn't really know where to put that, so I'll put it in there right now. You may already know this, but if you're running a belt in a factorio and you cross something in the game, it'll automatically put undergrounds in there. And that was an addition, fairly recently added to the game. Now, what I do typically, I don't really like that it only spans this much distance. Just a personal preference, I think, with me. So I like to run if I'm going to put an underground, I like to make it span the entire distance. And I don't think that is an option yet, or if it's ever going to be in the game. So if you see me doing this, running a belt, and you wonder why I'm not using the automatic underground feature, it's because I want the belt, or I want the undergrounds to span the maximum distance, because maybe I know in the future I'm going to run a belt through there, something like that. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please click on that thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. If you have any questions or comments, type them into the comment area. Let me know how you're doing on your playthrough. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.